when you're gonna want to start. Just get the ball rolling. Like whatever you're trying to put out there in the next year, get the ball rolling from the 6th all the way until the 20th when there's a full moon. That's a 2-week window where, I mean, you want to do it on the 6th and as close as possible, but that's when you're going to start getting the ball rolling. Ready or not, you don't want to you can't get caught up in indecision.
It's funny that you say that because I plan to take travel around that time and
but if anything, like while you're traveling,
no, but it's travel for my plans, for my business.
Okay, good.
You know what I'm saying? Good. So as you say that, I'm making sure my flight leaves on the 6th.
Yeah. But also while you're in the air, that's the time to really just sit with yourself and start asking how do I want this to look? What am I willing to do to get it? Because manifesting, there's a whole technique to manifesting. I have whole classes around this, but you just really want to get clear about not only clear about what you want to happen, but what you're willing to do to make it happen. Because it's an exchange. You have to think you're about to shake hands with the universe or God or whatever we call it. You're shaking the hand, saying, "Okay, this is my part, and I'm going to leave it up to faith that you're going to do your part." Gotcha. Boom.
What about Kush?
Yeah, now we get to Kush.
Well,
now that I know nothing ain't nothing.
That's good.
Nothing from nothing, leave nothing.
Gotta have something.
Motherfucker punch you in the mouth.
Nah, man.
Oh, shit.
Yo.
Dice on Eddie Murphy from Eddie Murphy Raw.
Let's see. So for Scorpio, so why I said that about Scorpios is, so you all know when we hear there's a solar eclipse, there's a lunar eclipse. We have them 2 to 3 times a year. So they follow what's called the nodes of fate, and the nodes of fate stay in a pair of signs. So right now they're in Gemini Sagittarius, and they move backwards. So we're finishing up a Gemini Sagittarius story from the last 18-19 months. We are shifting into Taurus Scorpio stories come November, because now we're going to hit the second eclipse season for 2021. And now, so for the next 18-19 months from November on, it's going to be a lot of fated changes that come to the Taurus and Scorpios. So, you want to start thinking well, what do I want to change? How do I want it to change?
Your son might be going through puberty.
Stay away from my baby mama.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's just going to, ooh, yeah, Taurus. I mean, anytime, so, opposites either attract or they deflect. And even when they attract, they can deflect.
Dope.
So yeah, it's going to be a big time. It's going to be a big
energy lately. So, and it feels like some shit about to change. So that's funny you said.
Well, in 2021, really for everyone is, well, here's the thing. If you look at 2019, the end of 2019, 2020, and 2021.
2019, the end was horrible.
Yeah. So if you look at them from a macro level, you're just looking at this is 2020 as a year, this is 2021. They're huge transition years. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, that's come with a lot of activity and a whole lot of.
But that could have a big part of how the stars are too.
Yeah. So they always lead to something. So we had a huge planetary alignment January of 2020. It's an alignment that happens every 32, 36 years. Epidemics follow the joining of those planets. So 32, 36 years prior, it was AIDS. And then 32, 36 years prior to that, you just follow the cycles. And there's always the linking of these planets leads to some kind of
bullshit
health.
But the thing is, do you think that happens because the Earth knows that it's starting to be more people on the Earth than what's actually allowed? I mean, because they say, if there's over 8 billion people on the Earth, it can start shifting. So we was at 7.9 billion people on the Earth when this shit happened. So I would like to know if 32 years ago and then 32 years, prior to all that shit, if the population started making the world bigger, to where it can start shifting, and maybe this is why we have global warming and shit like that. Because we started to have more people and it started making the Earth shift to fuck up, where Earth is supposed to be at.
I love Trey's face.
Because listen,
it's real.
It's
real.
real what he
In
said.
these moments.
But you could have like concise, like
You know I don't do that. I mean, I like to go into
it would have
detail.
sounded way more
I'm a
intelligent.
detailed nigga.
He's a detailed nigga.
Know what I mean?
Listen.
He's passionate.
He's a detailed nigga.
But I mean, do you think that has anything to do with something like that?
That's not astrology.
Yeah.
I'm not asking this.
I'm trying to help you out real quick now, man. Quick answer now, man. Let's get back to the astrology.
There's Snow White and 7 dwarfs, the nice and 9 mean dwarf. Snow White and 7 9 mean.
You have to send me all of these, yo.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
Dice,
I
Dice
think
don't like that the joke is on him. He doesn't listen. I know this guy. I can
You can do one with all this.
cool.
whatever.
It's cool. I'm just done with it.
It's over it now.
It was
funny
funny
the first two
It was
times.
funny a while, but it's
We're
like,
not.
all right.
We're not.
We need a whole bunch of them.
Because people can't see it because I'm talking about something serious. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean,
Yeah, we know you, man.
I think that starts to get into like your like belief systems. You know, like is it
Right.
something that God or the universe do? You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so I want to actually go back because you answered.
Whoa,
Circle it
what
on
about
back.
Leo? No. Okay, you ain't
Yeah,
saying
let
about
him
me.
get to Leo. He
Whoa,
didn't do Leo.
whoa.
He didn't do
What about
Leo. What about Leo? And look,
Oh, gotta tell me about me.
hold up. It's a blessed time right now for Dice.
Nice,
He opened
it
his
is.
shop.
It
It's a real
is.
blessed
It
time.
is.
In the
He gave me my reading. He gave me my
So,
reading
yeah,
the other day.
let's say about that.
But
So you
anyway,
just want to read it on air now?
no.
Well,
It's
so I'm
different.
actually-
It's different. It's
No, so
different.
I'm actually gonna. So I'll do it for the elements, but there's actually so what I was segueing to was 2021's transition is coming down to a tug of war between two planets, and it's Saturn and it's Uranus. So Saturn represents our foundation, our structures, the old way, the traditional way that we're used to doing something and showing, and it's just kind of like good, bad, or ugly. It's just like, oh well, this is what it always is, or this is what it always was.
Mhm.
Uranus is the complete different energy. It is a rebel, screw every rule you've ever done, throw the rule book out, create your own rules, explosive change, unexpected things. So, you know, think about the first eight months of this year and think about the amount that has changed from January to now.
Right.
So these two are they're in what's called a square. This is this stressful 90-degree angle where they're coming together and there's friction. But these are two outer planets that are mega players in astrology because Saturn is our foundation. It is our 2 feet. You know, we stand solid on Saturn's shoulders to just like, okay, like I've got my grounding here. And then Uranus is blowing it all up. And so I'm calling this year the decision-making year. So we've already had 2 of 3 of these squares between these two planets hit, right? So if you think about mid-February was the first hit. So if you just kind of think like that mid-section, like I had a job come out of nowhere, and to be a part of a fitness program for Beachbody. And it was out of nowhere. I literally I auditioned for Beachbody like 4.5 months prior for something completely different.
Right.
Didn't hear anything about that one, but because my audition video, I danced with some of my houseplants. They needed to replace somebody in a program they were filming, and the producer said, "Get the guy that danced with this plant." And it was from a video I did from 4 months prior. So anyway, that has now shifted a lot for Drunk Astrology, for me as a performer. Like there's a lot of things that happened that in middle of February that set me on a path of like, oh, I see my crossroads now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see where by the end of the year, because then mid-June.
And you do astrology, and to you it made sense.
Yeah, because I was curious to see. I'm always curious, like so when I look at charts, it's like you're looking at the math, you're looking at just the math of it all, and then you get into it with the person, and you go, oh, okay, so if you're having this 6th house stuff and this 9th house stuff, like I'll tell you what that is astrologically, but how is that playing out in your life so we can start seeing where the crossroad is and where you're being asked to change what you're used to change what's always been into what it needs to be moving forward. Because that's this dance between Saturn and Uranus all year.
That started happening in March.
In mid-February. But were you feeling it in? Okay. Yeah. And then mid-June was the next hit. And now December 23rd is the third and final. So by the end of the year, this is why I'm saying 2021 is like the decision-making year, because by December, we get to that point where it's like, oh, it's probably now going to be more black and white to go, okay, I need to go this way. Like the old way is not cutting it anymore. And like the last several weeks, we've been having a lot of Uranus transits in the sky, which is tugging on their tug of war.
That's that Leo shit.
That Leo shit.
Know what I mean?
So what I thought.
He's still up there on the first.
No, because he's transitioning.
First.
He's coming there into the Leo thing.
Yeah. So what I thought I would do for you guys on the show, it would take a long time to do all 12 signs, but I can do the elements. So like you're an air sign, you're a fire, you're water, and I'm earth. So we actually have a nice little Captain Planet thing going on here.
Okay.
So let's see. I'll just go down. I'll go fire, earth, air, and water. So for the fire signs, Saturn is in it's all about your relationships and your partnerships and working with people close to home. You're in this. So this is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
Okay.
So it all has to do with your networking, your relationships, your partnerships. That's Saturn. So you're looking at, okay, my old friendships, my friendships that have been around for a while, people that I'm used to being around, whether it's romantic, family, platonic.
Remember you asked me, did I rekindle a relationship?
The last when you just cut me last.
Yeah. And then that's when I was telling you, I said me and Trey had a disagreement and we rekindled, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's why
they got a divorce.
That's why he asked. I mean, I was like, well, me and Trey, you know what I mean? Like we was, we went through our thing and we
for nothing.
And we, and we made it right. You know what I mean? Because but that
you didn't say that.
No. But anyway, that was in our signs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For that to happen. And that's what I told you.
Yeah, because Saturn brings lessons and challenges. So that's where, for the fire signs, the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, that is in this relationship and partnership area. But now Uranus is now in work, all work signs for the fire signs. So Uranus is now saying the new way, like how do we redefine relationships to now take work to the next level?
And I got
and we know that Dice is opening his own store. You can find him in
Northridge.
The Tonsillitis on steroids.
The Tensorium.
So that's the tug of war that's happening for the fire signs. Now, when we jump to earth signs, now we're talking about me. We're talking about her. That's Taurus. That's Virgo and Capricorn. So Saturn is in our work and value zone. So like the earth signs of the world are really having to look at the work they're used to doing, how they usually show up for work. It could be a pivot. I don't want to do this anymore. But it's all about work, values, and then being valued at work. So value in astrology can be financial, and it can also be emotional.
You're an assistant for a big choreographer. You're being valued in your work.
Right. So but it's like, okay, so this is what it's been like up until now this year.
What the fuck is so funny?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take a sip on that one.
I tried to hold it in.
Am I wrong? You know what I mean? Or am I right? Am I wrong? Am I right? You know what I mean? I'm fucking right.
This nigga just turned into Miss Cleo all of a sudden.
You're being valued.
You're now. Don't do it, Paul. Nigga, don't put me on.
Now that will be the cover album.
Call me now.
Yeah, Miss Cleo.
This nigga is doing. I know
You're being valued,
He's
call me now.
He's feeling nice today, dog.
All right,
I'm happy I'm witnessing this today.
Yeah, legit.
Tequila before coffee.
Hey,
Who knew it would be so lit?
This is barbershop talk like
this.
This is how we do it.
He knew.
There you go.
I learned.
All right,
so yes. So now we're still talking about the earth signs. So, but what I was saying was that value in astrology is split between there's emotional value. How much are you being valued for the earth signs at work? And then there's financial value. And how you value yourself is now going to be a big part of how other people's value you.
Right.
You know, oh wow, the tequila's kicking because I did not speak English there.
No,
how
but we
you,
understood.
how other people, how other people
we
value
understood.
It's
We
all right.
understood.
they
We all
are like, what is happening at this studio?
It's drunk astrology.
It's drunk astrology.
drunk-
It's in the brand, folks.
Listen,
so you
goddammit,
can
we talking
How
about
you
astrology.
drink
Drink while
and
Yeah.
drink. Yes.
Hey,
don't
The
make
day
it happen.
really is drunk
Open it up.
astrology.
Don't make it
That
happen.
really is
No,
drunk
don't make it
Because
happen.
your interpretation is right. It's more about getting drunk on the knowledge. drunk on the
Exactly.
things,
I mean,
and-
you can
Well,
intoxicate
today
on
you
the
get
knowledge.
drunk
and
while
today
sharing
we're
the
getting
You
knowledge.
get
literal.
drunk
with
on
my
the
brand.
knowledge
Drunk
and
and
literally.
sharing the knowledge.
If you want
This
literal drunk
barbershop
astrology,
talk
tune
like
in every week.
this.
Anyway,
Brand.
come on.
All right, so
Okay,
back
sorry.
to-
Yes,
Earth.
yes. Okay, yes. Earth signs. All right. So you guys, you understand what I'm trying to
Earth.
say? That value, how we value ourselves, is
Who's
now
the Earth
gonna
sign?
dictate. I am.
Yeah.
here.
What
Him-
sign?
him and
What
Herman.
sign?
Oh, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Those are the Earth signs.
And then the fire signs is
Aries, Leo, Sagittarius.
okay. And then
And then we'll get.
Look at this
You're
nigga.
coming.
I'm coming here.
I
mean,
believe it though. I believe
Hey,
that.
send me that. Send me that one. Send me that one. That shit is hilarious.
Come with your truth, nah,
Nah,
man.
man.
Call me now.
And call me now
me
at
now.
1. It
yo,
is.
this is all
Dice
pro.
the
Dice the
barber.
barber.
Call me barber shop right
Call
now.
me now at the
Nigga, I
studio.
got chicken and a patty and a haircut and a reading in the astrology.
Anybody that's an Earth sign is like, can you finish our
Yeah,
reading,
finish
please?
the Earth sign.
With a facial.
So we just discussed the old way, right? The challenges
Right.
are coming at work on the work front. Now the changes are now happening with how we show up and our image, how we view ourselves, and how we want everyone else to view us.
Right.
Right. So the Earth signs, it's kind of it's a bit of a shaky. I almost said dicey.
Yeah.
It's a bit of like a
No pun,
dicey,
no pun intended.
a little bit of like a dicey territory for Earth signs because
Big
we
pun
are
intended.
typically more like behind the scenes. We're kind of
I know, I was talking shit.
we're kind of more we're more about work and service. We don't necessarily put ourselves in the limelight like that, but that's where we are getting pushed this year,
Right.
where it's like, yes, no more valuing yourself less than you should be, or no more being in relationships that value you less than you should be. Now put yourself first. And now by the end of the year, when we have this third and final hit between these two planets, that road will probably become way
Very
more
clear.
clear.
Yeah.
That probably brings you and Herman like a little bit, you know what I mean, closer.
Yeah,
and be
no.
like, yo, I mean, this shit is lining up.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, he and I have a different things happening, but the themes thematically, which is what astrology is beautiful for,
Right.
the themes are the same.
That's crazy.
So the movements and the players are all different,
Mhm.
but thematically we're in the same boat.
That's what's up. And what about him?
So air signs and
No.
then water signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm going
My
down,
daughter,
I'm
my
going
daughter's a
down.
Pisces
Let him
too.
do what he do.
Yeah. So now we shift into the air signs. So now we're talking Geminis, we're talking Libras, and we're talking Aquarians. So
Mm.
the old way of how you're showing up. And so like where for the earth signs, this is where we're being asked to like thrust ourselves into the limelight. Well, now you're looking at how have you always been showing up? What has your image been? How, what are the titles you want to go by? Oops, I need this.
Yeah.
What are the titles you want to be like known as? What do you want to be remembered for? All of that is like, okay, what you've been working on thus far. This is there's challenges this year. There's things to overcome. There's obstacles in this department. How you want to grow, how you want to expand, how you want to love. Your
Facts.
Keep going.
Shooting me down. Oh my God.
Please keep going.
Any like creative projects that you have, side projects that you want to shift into, other, main sources of income. Like all of those things are up, but the old way. This is the challenges of 2021 for you. But now where the explosive change is coming is in your ability to process and your ability to let go of a lot. A lot of the air signs this year have to release a lot. There's a lot of endings. There's a lot of transitions. There's a lot of closure needed. And that's what these two planets all this year are trying to bring you to consciousness of what needs to end. Things might just be ending out of the blue, but there, because that's the quality of Uranus. When it comes into our chart, it's unexpected changes, but it's a more of like an emotionally volatile year for the air signs. There's a lot of, this is a heavy amount of water bringing up self-sabotaging patterns, or just shadow behaviors in relationships that need to be exposed.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, nigga. Like,
spot on.
Tell him.
I ain't
He ain't got to. He ain't got to.
Yeah, but just
His
know
face
that,
said
nigga,
enough.
just say
His face said enough.
you were correct. You know
That nigga might hit you up and be like, nigga, can I get a reading this?
Right.
that shit was like dead ass.
Nigga,
Spot
that
on.
shit
Spot
right
on.
there, me knowing him,
Spot
that
on.
shit was like
Spot on.
every
Spot on.
fucking thing that you said was
Spot
like,
on.
I didn't want to look at him. I didn't want to keep looking at him
Spot
like,
on.
I'm just like, God damn.
nigga, how the hell you know me?
But nah, but what
Who the
the
fuck-
positive
who the
thing
fuck
out of
told
that,
you what I
though,
was going to
is
do?
it confirms that what he's doing ain't wrong, right? It does put a more of a confirmation in your heart, like, yo, like,
Like, this is how
supposed
everything
to
is
happen.
lined up.
if there was he not a nigga that moved with no doubt anyway. When he do some shit, he be like, yep, that's what it is, I'm doing it. But like, if you had any inkling of any little bit of doubt, that right there probably was like,
Listen, I knew I didn't, so that's why I'm like, this
Yeah.
motherfucker right to the motherfucker.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like,
You don't
listen,
move without doubt
transition
anyway.
is happening.
yeah.
Relationships is empty. Things are moving forward.
Things are difficult with kids and the transitioning.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
God
Hey.
damn.
hey.
Hey.
I see
Oh,
that. I wanted to
Said too
oh,
much.
whoa. It's
Anyway,
talking.
Let's go to him.
Yeah, let's go
Let's
to
go to
water.
him.
Let's-
Let's go to.
Was there anything else?
No, well, just,
yeah.
but just know,
Finish him up.
But just know, because this is for everybody, but just know that by the end of the year, by the end of December, there's likely the path will have cleared. And it's like, we'll all have that clarity of thought to go, okay, enough with the old way. I just like to say the old way versus the new way. Listen, some people might just choose the old way. You know, it's all
Me
It's choices.
Me personally,
We all have
I mean,
power of
like it's
choice.
crazy. It's crazy that you say that, because me personally, with opening a new bar shop, I know I'm not gonna have all 12 chairs filled up, but I was like, I'm gonna give myself at least until like Black Friday or something like that, before I feel like everything is all clear. And you was like, by the end of the year, and me mentally thinking it, I'm putting that shit into existence. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna be by the end of the year.
and this is why I was also talking about people that you've worked with before or whatever, because next month we have a Mercury retrograde in Libra, which is about bringing back old relationships. So anybody that you might have worked with at other shops, or I don't know the politics of barbering,
Right.
whatever it is,
Or
like,
anybody,
wow.
relationships,
That's just
or all people you,
Mhm.
I mean,
It does start early.
I'm trying to
That's what
I'm
I'm
trying to
going through
recruit
right
Matt
now.
to come to my mama.
Oh, you're already
Oh,
feeling
I know
it.
Matt ain't gonna do it. I mean,
That's
but
too far.
anyway,
That's it. Creatively,
Well,
old work.
actually,
let's get to, let's get the kush. Let's get the
Yeah.
kush.
Because I feel that. Like
Nigga,
a
shut the fuck up and let him
God
get to
damn,
it.
that's like the 10th time you
Water.
told me shut the fuck up. I told you
That's
I feel
what you
taller
get when
than
you
you
show up
today.
late, nigga.
I'm taller than him
Hey.
today, and I got a bottle right
Water.
here.
Nigga,
He out
I'm
his
sitting
mind.
down and I'm still
You
Water.
sit down.
Be
You better
fluid.
tell him. I'm
Water.
saying, and I love it.
Water. Be fluid.
He fired.
But you're water. Be fluid.
Right. Technically,
You
I'm
could-
more
you could-
powerful, dependent.
Just be fluid. So he
not unless the
technically,
fire's too big.
Nah,
And you run-
technically,
and you
I'm
run out of
saying,
water.
but if it- nah,
Not
if
unless the
there's
fire's
ample-
too big and
if
you run
there's
out of
ample
water, nigga.
water,
It's
you're
I'm just
gonna
gonna
lose.
keep burning.
I just gotta say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
There
go
you
let the
go.
be the wind and blow us
That's
both
what you
out.
say.
Yeah.
That's what
Both
you
of y'all,
say.
I tried to be polite. I tried to be polite,
A
like be
whole
fluid. Listen,
new world, different kinds of places.
All right.
It's
What's
all you.
that?
All right, so for the water signs, we're talking about Cancers, Scorpios, and Pisces. So now the old way this is also relationship front, right? But like specifically for Scorpios, a lot of stuff happening on the family front, on the home front. You can even go down to like relationship with parents or authority figures. But also looking at this,
what about Pisces?
yeah, Pisces are
Oh no.
Cut out, nigga.
Pisces.
Special kind of people.
Let 'em
Yeah.
finish.
Relax.
My son.
Relax.
I got my middle brother's a Pisces. My best friend Richie, who I work with, he's a Pisces.
My daughter's a Pisces.
I know, but I want to hear something specific about the Pisces.
But he was giving his
I
whole
know.
shit.
But
Fuck Kush.
I'm just trying to go
Fuck
along.
Kush.
No, listen, nigga, I'm trying
The
to make-
nigga
the
just
correlation.
literally just
Go
said,
ahead.
"Fuck
Yeah,
Kush."
I'm trying to make the correlation. Relax.
Can
You know what I'm saying?
you say
My
that
son's
after
a
he gives
Pisces
the
too, so it
after
don't
he
matter.
give the
I would like to
whole
hear it also.
after he give the whole
Yes,
thing,
but
then we'll go back to it. I mean, give him his,
Yes.
his thing.
So,
I mean, we'll go back.
Well, just for the water signs in general, because we can't forget our Cancers. That they might cry if we forget them.
Right.
That's a little wink to the Cancers.
Damn, son. Brother O.
Go ahead.
Brother O.
Yeah, they're just really emotionally passionate people. But you're looking at potential shadow sides of relationships as well. But now for you though, I would say for Scorpios, this is a real focus on home, family, relationships close to home. Do you have a relationship to your parents? Are your parents still hit? Yeah. Okay, good. So think about this year, like how, or now within your own family dynamic, how this year there have been changes or been pulls and tugs on the foundation of your family unit, right? So that's the Saturn side of things. Like the old way that's not working anymore for the water signs is now close to home, and in this willingness to let things go, transitions and endings as well. But now where the new way is now being pushed into your front is now in new relationships, new partnerships, new, expanding in ways with different people like that you might not even think like, oh, I didn't even think that I would be capable of, expanding in this way, like with these types of people. But the Uranian influence here for the water signs is now new relationships. And now, so I get the feeling that it's more looking at the old structure of how relationships have played out. And now saying there are new relationships that now you have an opportunity to redefine the structure of how you show up in relationships, how you participate in relationships. Is it an equal give and take? Scorpios take on a lot. Scorpios take on a whole lot. And before they actually say something about like, well, 16 years ago, you told me to leave my tie on and I hated that fucking tie, and then like everything comes out like all at once and it's super intense because you hold on, you harbor a lot. Scorpios tend to absorb before they actually let out. So I get the feeling that's the overarching vibe for this year, is like looking at the traditional sense of how relationships have played out for you now.
Is any of that on point?
Oh, yeah.
The Scorpio shakes his head.
This nigga, he has nothing to say, and he always has something to say. He's listening. He's like, nigga, are you fucking Cleo? Like, what the fuck? Do I gotta call you up?
Imagine this: the fire signs are the one that's like, oh, so it's like work and it's like value, and it's. He takes it in and he's like, damn.
All right, nigga, work, value,
yeah,
come.
Nah,
it's like we the drill sergeants of the whole shit. You motherfucker, like, wake up, let's go, work, get up.
Tell me about myself, damn it.
So
yes,
what was the question?
Leo.
I mean,
I was just saying,
you want to know about
what was in there for Pisces?
Pisces, there's a lot of looking at. There's a lot of releasing necessary. There's a lot of endings. There's a lot of transitions. But it's also looking at patterns, looking at repeated patterns and going, okay, the same kind of thing keeps happening. How do I change it? So for Pisces, this is actually like the perfect time to either get with therapists, get with counselors, get with astrologers, but like think about spiritual ways to now process everything that's going on. Because like the outside world, I mean, for everyone, it's chaotic.
right
Now, but the Pisces now have to within the chaos that's all around them, they now have to go, okay, how do I find, I have to say, my wusa? How do I find my center in this so that I can still continue? This is also a major creative energy.
Can I say something real quick?
This nigga, boy.
I mean, can I say something real quick? Because I have something to add to that. Because my daughter,
Leo has something else to say.
No.
Question, hold on. Are you about to ask a question?
No,
or are you going to just tell?
he gonna drop some dice knowledge.
I want it.
Dice astrology knowledge.
What the fuck?
Nah, me.
Nah, man.
my daughter, right?
It's funny,
Yeah.
Dice. Don't try to not laugh, nigga.
Listen, no, I'm being serious.
No,
My daughter, right?
I'm being serious.
My daughter's, I mean, she got her own business, and I'm opening up the barbershop, and she's going to be a major part in my barbershop as far as like selling, you know what I mean, her products and stuff like that.
Know what I mean?
And she's a Pisces, so this could actually you know what I'm saying?
And I would say specifically for Pisces that it's close to home. There's new opportunities to make contracts, agreements.
Right. And I've been having her in like all these different like major events and shit out here like that. So for Pisces, you know, my daughter to be like that makes a lot of sense.
Now, back to what I was gonna ask before you started.
Who, him?
Yeah, this nigga's a truth.
Nigga, I'm trying to tell you, nigga, like this motherfucker
starts early.
Yeah.
every time he come into my shop, I'm like, what you got?
Because the working energy.
We talk, and I mean, I cut his hair. We
Well,
talk, and I mean, I get it for free because I'm his barber. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm supposed to get it for free.
Can
You've been on barbershop talking like this now, so I'm gonna be texting her like, "Hey, Graham, what's up, dog?
When to the
Come on,
when to the free
listen.
cuts come in? Free cuts,
Hey,
cuts,
listen,
right?
listen. You still get the old prices.
Check it out.
You don't even get the new prices.
Oh, there's new
Yeah.
prices.
Listen,
Ooh.
Both of them.
You've been on the show, so you
my
family
new
now.
clients.
Yeah.
My new clients. I mean, all my old clients, they're fathered in.
Right.
All the new people.
We love that.
Listen,
Loyalty.
so you know what I'm saying? Don't even
Thank you, Trey.
Hey,
Thank you,
don't
Trey.
feel like you're not being
Thank you, Trey.
appreciated.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
What?
For grandfather, the grandfather clause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love that.
Anyway, I was asking a question, but you was
You got
talking.
more
Well,
grace than me,
but here's the
grandfather.
I do.
Like, so I don't think that you're experiencing an early Mercury retrograde, but because of these two tug of wars that are happening, or the tug of war that's happening all year long, it has a lot to do with your relationships. So any relationship that needs to be changed or reworked, remastered, you know, revisited, whatever, they're coming up because Uranus has been triggered over the last like 4 weeks. So a lot of this has been coming up lately for everyone. Like, but the while everyone that's not like, you know, thinking about the stars and thinking about the timing of things, it's just like, why is this happening? Like this week was terrible. Like, this is so shitty. Like, I don't get it. But it's like, no, there's a meaning. There's a reason. And the overarching reason is that these two planets are trying to get you clear on the direction that you're meant to blast off on come January of 2022.
I got a question real quick.
What's your question, Trey?
So you, I mean, listen, that was a lot of breaking down. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot of breaking down in that little small segment. And you was like, well, I can just do this part. How deep does this shit go?
Oh, you can talk about all
I got a question too.
kinds of things.
Can I get mine answered first?
Yeah. The three of us have questions, so we can just go right back around the room.
I got a question too.
We're gonna start with his.
We already started with his. Can he finish his?
Yeah.
Right, like we was in the middle of my explanation. You just chime. I got a question.
No.
got a
My
question
thing is,
too.
I mean, I just don't want you to end it after your
I
question.
wasn't gonna end it.
All right.
Follow Drunk Astrology on.
On Instagram.
Go ahead.
So it goes really deep. I mean, you can take, looking at one birth chart, you can continue to unravel all kinds of things.
Nigga, he broke it down to the day I was born to the time that I was born.
I got a question.
I mean,
about
for
that.
you to be who you are, bro. I mean, it's too much time to do all that shit, but he could break it down to the exact time and second that you was born to who you are, bro.
I asked the room this
that
question. I asked the room.
I'm
this
not
question.
done.
You are now.
Nigga, because you wasn't the one who was supposed to be fucking answering. That's why I'm looking at you like,
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, really.
A whole new world. Anyway,
Hey, all right. So
all
the
right,
question is,
no.
wait,
Let him finish. Let him finish.
I mean, listen.
I think
I thought it was done.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
done.
so
We're
the
done.
question is, I'm asking the room, since we were talking about birth times and all of that stuff.
Right.
Y'all ain't never had them girls be calling me that, you know, you talking to her and then yo, let me get the birth time.
What time were you
What time?
born?
You ain't never had a chick ask you that shit? What time were you
No,
born?
nigga,
and stuff
she
like that?
crazy.
Okay, that's my point. That's what I was gonna ask them. Then when them chicks come
They
around,
are
they
trying to
bad
get your
shit crazy.
chart.
Yeah,
Nigga,
bad
They're
shit
not.
crazy.
I'm not saying they're
I'm like,
crazy.
bitch,
That shit crazy.
They're not crazy.
I'm
They're
like,
just
I'm like,
trying-
to
they're
know
just
you.
trying
They
to
trying
figure
to
out.
figure out
who the hell
shit.
you is.
I knew
Should I waste
Because
my
here-
time with this motherfucking
Well,
nigga
because here's
or
the thing.
not? because it's a lot of things I don't trust.
Well, because when you talk about chemistry and synastry, like that's another type of reading. Like
Chemistry is synastry.
Like there's
S-Y-N,
whether or not
S-Y-N or
aligned to be
S-I-N?
cool.
S-Y-N.
All right. Yeah.
Synergy.
Synastry.
Yeah.
Synastry, nigga.
Synastry.
So
think that's
synastry charts, you're looking at your
The
chart
synergy is right
and your chart, right? You put
Right.
two charts next to each other and say, how do these charts get along? So
We was
here's the
definitely
thing.
gonna talk shit to each other the whole time.
For sure,
Right.
Leo, Scorpio, yeah.
But we tight though.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Two of my closest
You're
friends.
both
yeah.
fixed signs, so it's just like, yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
But so the tequila's kicking in. I forgot where I was going.
Synergy and
Synastry. Thank you.
Yeah, I got
Yes. So here's the thing.
I'm
Thank
with
you.
you. I'm paying attention.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
Astrology.
Hey, you see the other two got quiet too.
Hey,
They was all like,
It's drunk astrology.
I was like, oh,
He like,
no.
hell yeah.
I'm the only sober one.
Yeah,
in the room, actually, which is why I remember.
We about to have a great day today.
I'm not
goddammit.
drunk. I haven't had anything.
Where we going after this?
I
Where we
have another
going?
sip
Where
out
we
of
going?
this one.
He popped up.
We're going to the bar, goddammit.
And they said,
Synergy, that's it. Yeah. Woo, that Synergy. Synergy.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
so the moral of the story is this half of the table's trash and Kush is good.
I got you.
Your readings were good, to be clear.
But
But-
that shit's crazy.
So the thing of it is, when you're talking about synastry,
Right.
someone's asking for your time. They know enough to know that they can't just say, "Oh, I don't get along with Scorpios." That's only one planet So when Virgo,
It's like,
Scorpio,
wow.
there's great. So it's just like, okay, but
Wow.
what about your emotional nature? That's your moon. What about how you communicate? That's your Mercury.
Right.
That communication alone tears down or builds up relationships.
Right.
So yes, your sun sign might not get along, but maybe you emotionally and communicate on a communication level, you all meld
Right,
perfectly.
yeah.
So the good thing about someone who's asking for your birth time is that they're looking for more information,
Okay.
right? So
Some of them crazy though.
some of them might be crazy.
Yeah.
I can't speak to everyone,
but
but I know for myself when I met that one, I was like, "What time were you born?" I want to know your chart, please.
And he was probably like, "What time were you born?" I want to know.
He
your
does
chart.
know. He does
Yeah.
know astrology. That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I got a couple questions. I got 2 questions.
What's your question? Titus?
So does it make you change your path, or do you think about it to make it line up?
Say it again.
I was with you.
Does-
Say, what the fuck did you
Does-
say?
What kind of question is that?
Does it make
Does it
does
change
time,
your path?
Does the time change to make you change
No,
your path?
no.
Or does it depend on what time you get there instead of motherfucking is the bus coming
No.
on time?
I wrote it down, but I know how I want to ask you.
Uncover your truth, not me.
So you basically knowing who you are, with your astrology and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Do you try to make that be what your astrology says it is? You know, to make it kind of line up to what is actually going on. You know what I'm saying? Like
Say what?
you understand you understand your path of astrology, right? And it's like, okay, this ain't going right. Maybe I need to change this shit.
Oh, I make strategic decisions and moves.
That's what I'm
based
saying.
On the planet.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Concise.
Is it good? Is it good or is it bad? Because sometimes you might try to do it and it's not supposed to line up like that because you're trying to do it.
Well, so I always make the joke that astrologer me and real life me have conversations all the time.
Right.
Because real life me will just want to just like do things, and then I'll always stop myself and be like,
So should you,
"Oh, what's the
should you go
moon
with your
doing?
gut?
What's
Because
You
your gut,
can.
because your
So-
gut is your astrology.
well, one of my favorite astrologers, your gut is
Hold on,
astrology.
let-
Now, that's a
let-
quote.
Let me ask you a question.
That is a quote.
And all
Your
of the
gut,
years,
people, is astrology.
Yo,
That's your planet's
time
talking
out,
to
time
you,
out.
bro. You know
in
what I mean?
all of the years that you've been doing
That's your
it,
planet's talking to you. Know what I mean? It's like
Have
your
you-
gut is what you're supposed to do because every time you go against your gut, you're like, damn it, why the fuck did I do that? Because your planet's just talking to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get deep, bro. I mean,
No,
like,
say
y'all
it. No,
niggas
now
stupid.
this I get. This I get.
I
You know what I'm
can
saying?
hear this scene. Look, your gut is astrology. Nah, I mean.
But
Hey, this is definitely a whole new way.
Your
Listen, I
gut
get
is your
deep.
astrology.
Let him talk. Let him
So
talk.
I get this.
Oh my
So
God.
one of the astrologers she's one of my favorite astrologers. Her name is Ann Ortley, and she always says, if it's in your heart, it's in your chart. So it's true.
Right.
So
Yeah,
now
man.
each planet has a method depending on what you're feeling. Instincts could be Neptune.
Yeah.
Neptune is the god of the sea, right? When you think of Poseidon, like in Greek mythology, Neptune is Poseidon. The Romans took over and renamed everything. So now you've got Neptune's only way of communicating to you is in your subconscious or in daydreams, fantasies, intuition.
Well, I tell you about my dream.
Yes. So you have to start thinking like, okay, so if the planet of dreams and subconscious, but also your vision, Neptune is about what do you envision on a grand scale for yourself? How do you view the world? All of that is from a Neptune perspective, but Neptune can only get to you when you're asleep or intoxicated. Because it can also
shrooms.
It can also it can be on substance.
It's like a third world.
It's a transcension.
Acceptance.
It's like there's transcending that happens when you talk to Neptune. So it's either you're dreaming or you're daydreaming, or you kind of get lost in a fantasy. Like
right.
That's now
People that meditate.
So if you think about it's the more healthy version.
Right.
So if you think about that, then you're like, oh, okay. So now if this is what's coming in, if I'm dreaming about this now, a lot of times we can get focused on in dreams. We can get focused on what happened in the dream. Or who was in the dream. But now start thinking about the themes of the dream. And then you start going, okay, now how is Neptune trying to get to me? What is Neptune trying to say to me? I read a book called Making the Gods Work for You. And this is when I learned this whole theory of like each planet has a different way of getting to you. Or like you invoke a different planet based on like if you're feeling like you're plateauing, there's no opportunities, there's nothing coming in. Well, that's Jupiter. Jupiter's the good luck planet. He's the one of abundance and opportunity. So then you have to invoke Jupiter in different ways. It's like the craziest book, and it sounds more woo-woo than it really is. Like as a Virgo, I'm pretty practical. Like I read the book and I never have like, oh, this is a little too far for me, a little too new agey for me.
Right.
It's actually like, wow. And I tried certain things. I did certain rituals at the time because I felt like I needed different things. And so I was like, well, let me try this like ritual she's talking about. And it worked.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, tell the people where they can follow
That's
you.
dope. Yeah.
Tell the people where they can follow you.
Believers. As a matter of fact, he's not only a player, but he's the player president. Astrology shit right now.
Nah. Listen, I mean, we talk all the fucking time. I mean, I know Graham for a long time, bro. Yeah.
Tell the people where they can follow you at.
Yeah, so on Instagram and Facebook, it's at Drunk Astrology. And then there's drunkastro.com for everything else I do. I just launched a line of candles. I custom designed 12 scents. No, I have them.
You got them?
I have them for you, yes.
Me and my son.
I custom made scents for all 12 signs based on personality traits and what I wanted the candle to feel like. So like when there's a blend of oils in Libra called Midnight Romance. And I was like, now you don't get more Libra than Midnight Romance.
Wow.
Like
that's
Barry White.
Hey,
That's that Barry White.
Wait.
We're gonna sit down here. We're gonna lay down and we're gonna have
We're gonna talk
we're gonna
Midnight
smoke,
Romance.
and we're gonna sit here and we're gonna watch it.
Okay, motherfuckers. God damn. I thought you needed this shit for a couple seconds. You need to keep going on and on and on. Oh, say you got the fucking go, man.
On this episode of Barbershop Talk.
Yeah.
We have
So, hey, man, we really do want to thank you for coming through. This
Thank
one
you
of them,
guys.
this one of them episodes, I'm probably gonna have to listen to like 5 or 6
We're gonna have to
times
like
start
edit this
gathering,
down into like 5.
No, it's not gonna be edited. I mean, this shit gonna
this
go
shit
on.
gonna
The whole
But I'm
thing.
gonna have to listen.
we
I'm gonna have to
talked
listen
long.
to this shit.
How long
I
is
don't
this
even know how long we've been going.
Nigga, I don't know, nigga.
Hour 21.
It's good conversation.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good
So,
conversation.
I mean, but
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm gonna listen to this shit a couple times to absorb all this shit because I'm like, I'm trying to keep up.
But also, too,
this
like,
is a whole lot of information.
Look at his face. I mean, his face
It's
is like,
a
nigga,
whole lot of information. It's like, okay,
I'm mind blown.
look, he's like Neptune and just
So
like,
here's the thing. I'm gonna make life easier for you.
Okay.
Every Wednesday, I go live on Instagram and I do weekly readings for all 12 signs.
So
it's
at what time?
It's called Hump Day Hangover, 6 p.m.
I'm
Pacific.
Pacific time.
Yep, 6 p.m. Pacific. If it changes, I always put, update in the story or whatever. And I also have a mailing list in my website, so I always communicate that way with everybody.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming through. This has been another episode of Barbershop Talk Like
This.
I'm your host, Trader Barber.
This your other host, Dicethebarber.
Kush in the building.
And Graham from Drunk Astrology.
And we out this bitch.
Peace.
Oh, that was good.
Shit was dope, right?
You like that?
Dopest engineer ever.
We'll have to do.
Shit was hard, right?
We'll have to do like a follow-up in January to go, okay, how was everyone?
So how was your 2020?
The relationship in the whole shit is like I told you, switch, like move from the relationship.
Motherfucker read me like a book.
Nigga, he was reading you. I was like that. Straight. I mean, that nigga was like. While you were saying what you were saying, I don't want to look at him because I want the viewers, to understand because I know this nigga. You know what I mean? And I'm listening. I'm like, yeah,
it was spot on.
Yeah,
It was spot on with everybody.
Yeah, nigga.
That's why I asked about Pisces. And I'm like. That shit natural like.
Yo, hey Paul. I need my block. Yes, that's a super
But
short.
it was spot on. Like,
Nigga,
that shit's right on. Creatively though, lately been some really heavy energy.
I'm glad. I'm glad I got you in here, bro. You know what I mean? Like I knew this shit was gonna be good.
Same.
That was fun.
That shit's
We acted a fool. It's all very on brand.
Damn. One of what's so dope about it is because a lot of people be like gay bashing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so like when they see a situation like this, they're like, maybe I should have. You know what I mean?
Right.
A friend like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is dope, bro. I mean, like, I be telling niggas all the time. I be like, yo, like all my people, they cool
realize
shit,
when you get grown.
You know what I mean?
What people are people. What you choose
It's so
to do,
simple. It's
right?
like
people are people.
Whatever makes you happy, that's where I'm at.
Who you
Like,
choose to love,
Right.
who all
Like
that,
it,
that's
I love
our
it.
personal preferences.
Right.
Yeah, as long as me and you, when we sit down in
Right.
front of each other, we cool. I'm good with everything, bro.
Exactly.
And you're good peoples, fam.
That's my
Hell
nigga
of
right
a
there,
read,
bro.
man. Good peoples, man. That was
Thank
dope
you.
shit. That
I
was
tell
one
people-
of the best
I tell
podcasts
people-
we've had.
Yo,
for
I'm
sure.
trying to tell you, like that podcast right there.
That was one of the
no,
best
listen,
podcasts.
that shit
we've
is
done.
dope.
I tell people all the time, on our show, we offend everybody equally. But that's what we do.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I tell people, if you have thin skin,
Yeah.
just ain't the show to listen to.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit, like I'm telling you, like if you plan on getting
Exit.
offended, don't even listen because